still like that?
No, I'm just kidding. Hey. I am live, actually. They have that little extra silence before the beginning.
Mm-hmm. Let people come on.
Just be looking around like, oh man, so excited to be here, Taneka. I really need my glasses, but I'm gonna try to get through this. If anyone's chiming in, can people hear us? Can you guys hear us? Give me a thumbs up if you can hear. Thumbs up if you can hear. I had my mic on the floor. Okay. Well, guys, I am super excited because I have a jewel sitting here with me, Miss Taneka Rubin. Thank you. Lately, it's been a little while. I'm going to get back on. I'm holding this because my clip fell off, but I'm just jamming with you guys. But I have this segment entitled Queendom. And so the whole concept is for us to encourage female entrepreneurs, females who are professionals doing it all, and then look inside of their queendom. So we are featuring Taneka Rubin today. She is an awesome mentor, world traveler, and she is a professional basketball player.
Yes.
How you feeling, girl? You feeling okay?
I feel good. Yes, I feel good. It's hot outside, but I feel good.
It's hot, like not 100, but 100 degrees. 100 degrees. You know.
Right. It really is.
See, she got the guns out.
Oh my goodness.
Just glory, the skin, glistening and everything. Beautiful, beautiful sister.
Thank you.
Yeah. Let's shake on that beautiful sister.
That's great.
Let me stop. But thank you so much for taking time out of your busy schedule.
Absolutely.
I know that you're extremely busy, but thank you for penciling me in. Definitely want to just encourage our viewers out there. So thank you so much. So you are indeed a professional basketball player.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I know so many people aspire to play at the professional level, but competition is hard. But can you take us on the journey? Where did it all begin?
Oh man. So the journey, if I told you the journey, we'd be here for like a couple hours.
Okay.
But I picked up a basketball at 3, actually. I was 3 years old. I guess my dad had one laying around the house. Mm-hmm. And then from the stories of my mother, she said I just was dribbling around the house. I started just dribbling around the house, and they couldn't get me away from the basketball. Right. So then growing up, I would play basketball during the summertime. I'd play from sun up to the street lights came on. And so that's where it started, I guess, from seeing my dad have a basketball. Okay. Watching it on TV.
Drawn to basketball.
Automatically. I have no idea why. Just automatically.
Okay, so let's fast forward to like your high school. Look at Kim Juniors. Hey, Kim.
Hey, Kim.
Kim should shoot those threes.
Okay, Kim.
Anywho. So take us, let's fast forward to your high school years. So were you still in love with basketball at that point?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yes, in high school, I had me and a friend. We had a rivalry actually in middle school. We were rivalry teams, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so then we ended up on the same basketball team in high school, and from there we were like Shaq and Kobe, and then we had a small town, Sierra Vista, Arizona, and the passion was there, and we fueled each other's passion. It was really good.
Awesome. So at what point? So high school years, you stayed in the game, and so a lot of time, and I know it's a lot of times. The time is now where a lot of graduates just graduated. Mm-hmm. So when you were transitioning from high school to college, was there a lot of pressure because you wanted to go play? At a school, right? So how was that journey? So
my dream was always to play Division I basketball. That was my dream. But I had a little adversity from my junior year to my senior year in high school because I tore my ACL in my knee. And I actually missed my whole senior year of basketball. So the schools that were interested in me, they kind of fell off a little bit. And so I ended up going to a junior college first because I still had that dream. I wanted to play D1. And so after those 2 years, I ended up doing that.
That is dedication. So you tore your ACL.
My left knee.
Man, how did you not? Well, first of all, did you? I'm sure you had moments of discouragement, but
yes.
How did you get through that?
Just really my support system. That was the main thing, and me just having that dream from the beginning. Like when you have a dream and you hold on to it, it will, and your purpose will take you through those ups and downs. And so there were times where I would just be like depressed, crying in my room. My parents come in and they encourage me. My sisters and my brother, they saw me and they would you know, we pick on each other, but they knew during that time it was a sensitive moment for me. And so everybody, they supported me during that time.
So would you say the strength, you were strengthened because of the love and support of other people?
Absolutely.
Man, that's a huge thing to overcome, because I know many people probably would have given up at that point, you know, because you're like, what you said, your senior year, junior?
It was right before my senior year.
So you sat out your entire...
I came in, actually, our team made the playoffs, so they held it down. We made the playoffs, and we hosted it at home.
Yeah.
And I played. I was able to play, but I still wasn't at 100%. And so I was like trash. I wasn't trash, but I was
fighting inwardly because you know you good on the court.
I wasn't where I wanted to be and where I knew I could be. And so it
Mm-hmm.
was a little discouraging, but I knew like that was my beginning to get back.
And so the one thing that I hear you're saying is that you actually had a plan. So you executed the plan, because you sat out pretty much your entire senior year, but you didn't give up. So you had a plan. You went to, your next step was to actually go to
junior college.
And that was your bridge.
Yep, that was exactly what that was. Because junior college, if you don't know, it's like it's that place where you really find out if that's what you want to do. Because there are some people who are there because they just want to play basketball. Okay. And then there are a few people who are there because they do want to get to the next level. And so everybody around you is not as dedicated as you are. And so you have to be completely locked in, completely focused, or you
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, so after junior college, then what was the next step?
FAMU. I ended up getting...
FAMU?
FAMU, you know, see me striking. Okay. No, but... FAMU, I went from a junior college in Arizona, which was in Glendale Community College, to moving to Tallahassee, Florida. And I had never even, growing up in Arizona, I didn't know much about HBCUs. I didn't know anything about living in Florida. So it was a transition, but that's where I knew I was supposed to be.
Man, and so you're going to an entire new state, and you're like, I just, HBCU, I'm just going for it. Man. And so what were some of the most cultivating moments or defining moments that really pushed you through your time
at FAMU?
Yeah.
Okay, so once I got to FAMU, it's like all the focus I had and everything, it wavered. Okay. Right, I knew what I always wanted to do, which was play basketball and go and play professionally, but distractions came in, and I was distracted, and my grades suffered, and I played at a high level. I was like one of the leading scorers on the team all the time, but it wasn't what it could have been. I could have been like way, and so distractions came, but my support system still, like, I knew where I came from. I knew what I was supposed to be holding on to, and even when those moments came when I was like, I might lose my scholarship. Yeah. It's a long story, but it was like I had something to hold on to.
Which comes with anything in life. There will always be those temptations. There will always be those distractions, and it's what we do. We go through the process, go through the journey of distractions, but it's like in the back of your mind, you knew what time it was. You knew what you wanted to achieve at the end of the day.
Yes.
And a key part of that is your support system.
Yeah, absolutely.
So listeners, if you don't have a strong support system, make sure you do that. It's so important, because the people that you hang around, people that you're listening to can make or break you literally. So make sure you have that support system. Yes. Man, okay, so you're going through college, and so you knew you still had you were still aspiring to play professionally. And so how did that all come about?
I always knew, I won't say always, but it started like in middle school. I just started saying that I was going to play professionally overseas, and I would say it like
that
all
is
the
amazing
time.
To me. I'm sorry, but in middle school?
Yeah, in middle school,
wow.
and it wasn't that anybody around me was doing it, but I just knew I wanted to do it somehow. And I would start saying, it kind of goes back to your book, Speak. Live the life you speak.
That's right.
Live the life you speak. Yeah. And now that I look back on it, I was declaring things that I wanted to do, and it came about. But I did it like shamelessly. I would tell people like, I want to play basketball professionally. And they didn't care, but I was speaking that thing. But anyways, I matriculated through college, got through it, and then at the end of my senior year, I was like, dude, I want to do this anymore. It was just so many things that, the ups and downs, and I wasn't sure if I wanted to play professionally. Okay. So that happened.
And so, like, you have this dream. Your entire journey is just like almost like a guide on how to endure.
Oh man.
Because when you were a child, I'm just kidding.
No way.
So when you were a child, your inner man knew exactly what you wanted to be.
Yes.
And you rode the wave, you know. And so even at the end of the college years, you're still just kind of like,
Yeah, it was. I didn't know if I wanted to do it. I was actually saying that, you know, I think I'm finished doing it. I was telling my family that I think I'm finished, but a funny thing happened. There was a guy, he worked for FAMU, right?
Okay.
In the office, so he would kind of see what was going on, and he would see me shooting and everything, but he was also a coach of a high school girls team. And so he just went down there one day and said, hey, do you want to help me work with the girls? And at this point, I'm still wavering. Do I want to play? But I started working with them. I had one more semester left of school, and I was working with them, and then slowly but surely my passion for the game started to come back. And so I realized God used that person to draw me back into what he really wanted me to do. It was...
That is awesome. And so tell us about your experience playing professionally. Like, this is a person, not too many people can say, this is what I wanted to do, and actually do it. You know what I mean? Like, you know how many people say that, man, I really want to do this, really want to do this. But for you to literally embody what you desire, like, that alone is a blessing, man. So first question, how does it feel to have become what you desired? Is it like, am I being too deep?
No.
It
feels great, but you know, the journey and like the process, it's not really allowing me to feel like I've arrived. I feel like, man, like I've been through so much, I gotta keep going, and I'm not where I want to be, but like now I'm like in the journey. I feel really good about the journey. I feel like I fell in love with the journey, you know? So that's how I feel.
That's dope. Okay, so tell us about your experience playing professionally.
Professionally, it's, man, being in another country in itself is just, it's an awesome experience. But there are challenges, all right? So when I went to London, there was no language barrier. Okay. But professionally, when I went to Portugal, that was the first thing I noticed. Oh, there's a language barrier, right? But it was still good. Even regardless of the language barrier, there were people around me who you could tell cared about me, my well-being, cared about my career. And then there's still those Americans on other teams who were able to support each other during that time where we're like, man,
what we need, let's come together, guys.
Yeah, so you had that, and it was just a good experience to know that you reached the top level of basketball. It's like, man, guys, you're so awesome.
Yeah. Have you ever had those moments on the court, like you're dribbling, just like, is this happening?
No, not that. You gotta be locked in during the game. But there were moments when I would sit. I would be sitting there like during a quiet time outside or something. I'm just like, man, God, you brought me this far.
And speaking of God, you know, this supreme, you know, okay. So how has, I won't say how God has played a part in your life, the significance of having a relationship with God. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I will talk from the standpoint of, at one point, not having a relationship to now. There's a huge difference because when you don't have a relationship with him, you forget, or you just don't know where your help comes from or where that gift comes from. And then you can like take advantage of it, and you're not, what's the word? Is that the word? Take advantage of it? You're not really doing what you're supposed to do with the gift.
Yeah.
And so on the other side, you're like, when you have a relationship with God, it keeps you in that place of gratitude, and you know that every day that I have to do what you've called me to do is a blessing, and I can't shake that, and I can't take advantage of it, and I have to use it to inspire other people.
Wow, that's awesome. That's awesome. And speaking of inspiring other people, I really hope that there are some little brown queens out there that are watching this video now or later, or that someone will, show this video, whoever watching, old, young, in between. But because so the struggle is real, in different circumstances. So what are some of the things, like how would you encourage young and old, if someone's feeling counted out or like, man, it's too hard, it's too difficult, what would you say to them?
I would say, actually, it's the first page in your book. You said if you have a post.
I didn't tell her to plug this.
She didn't. But I really read her book, and it was powerful. If there's a post, if there's a post, God has a plan, something like that, right?
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah.
And so the fact that you're alive and that there's breath in your body means that you still have purpose on this earth. And so it gets hard. Sometimes you're like, Lord, take me now. No, but there's always purpose. There's always purpose. You just gotta search it. And I think too, something I heard recently is that sometimes we get in that place where we're struggling, but you gotta look for a place to serve, because where you can serve, that is the ultimate purpose, and that gives you value, and it gives you that meaning. So.
That is so amazing. I love that. Gosh, I just want to does anyone have any questions? Feel free to chime in. This is so awesome. So, going through life, I know we see, I remember when I just asked you, like, hey, what inspired you to become a professional athlete, but you just felt this thing raise up in you as a child. But who are some of your role models, you would say, today?
My role models, man. Okay, I'll say this, that as I've been a child and grown up, and there's always been people in my life who I've pulled from. So most of them were coaches. Coach Trish, Coach Mo, I'm going through Coach Brown. I can't list all of them. Then I get to family, you got Coach Rashad, and now I have a trainer now, and he's 60-something, wise man. He's a very wise man. But these people have poured into me, and so I look up to all of them. But I really want to say my parents, because my parents have showed me what it means to not want to be average, and to push and to just seek excellence in everything you do. Yeah. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll say that.
So we know that you have a long. Thank you, Charlene. Thank you so much. She said she loves that. We know that you have many years. So I would say not your legacy, but as you're building your legacy, what are some of the key factors you want people to remember about you, or when they think of you, what is it that you want them to think?
Man, that's a great question. I want people to think that they can make it happen. That's what I want them to think. Like Taneka showed us that we can make it happen. I come from a really small town, right?
Like 2 stoplights?
No, not that small, small. But we got one high school, and it's just like you didn't really see a lot of excellence coming out of there. But me and my peers now, you see them and you're like, man, we're really doing this thing, regardless of what they say about Sierra Vista. We're chasing after our dreams. We're not letting people tell us we can't do it. So I don't know if I answered the question, but
no, that was I think you did. So which is so important, because a lot of people, if we are in, not saying you grew up in the hood or not, I did, but it's just like sometimes kids, that's all they see is their area code, or is that one high school. So that's all they're exposed to. So parents, you don't have to be filthy rich, but you can literally drive your kid literally into another area code. Just show them that there's more, so the more that we're exposed to, the more that we'll be able to see. Definitely. So how do you think exposure benefited you? Different cities, different countries.
Okay, so when I was in high school, I went to, I grew up in a military town. So we were a very diverse town, and we were used to seeing different cultures and different languages, different skin colors, and different ideas and religions. And so from there, I already didn't feel limited based on what I saw around me, because it was like, oh, okay, this person came from China, this person from Louisiana, this person. And so, yeah.
That was a part of
my upbringing.
Okay. We have a question from Deborah. So the question is, what do you see yourself doing after you're done playing basketball?
Oh, man.
Are you going to be playing while you...
Well, that's a great question.
I'm looking at your questions, guys. Sorry.
I'm actually working on that now. Being a professional athlete is great, but I think that that's just a vehicle to get you to what you're really supposed to do in terms of the impact, right? And so I see myself working with kids. I don't know exactly yet in what capacity, but I see myself pouring into kids and sharing the fact that you can dream, do what you need to do.
Absolutely. And I see LaWanda has been chiming in. She says, race plays a big part in sports today. Okay, so what advice would you give to kids who miss out on opportunities now, because of race? it's real today. So race plays a big part on what team you, okay, she's saying race plays a big part on what team you play on, possibly. So depending on your race, you could be limited to play, or have more opportunities. So what do you say when race is a hindrance?
Man, that's tough. That's tough. Thankfully,
we're in a reality.
It's a real reality. I'm thankful that we're in a place now where we can be more outspoken, and we have people who are willing to step up and speak on behalf of civil rights and everything like that. But what would I say when race is a problem?
Yeah, if I'm a kid and I'm whatever, and I've been kind of shut down because of my race, or I see a team that's predominantly whatever this color is, and I'm not that, and I feel like I missed out on this opportunity. What should I do? How should I feel? Where should I turn? What would you say?
That's where like the leadership comes in of older people and saying, you know what, you're not defined by the value other people see in you or the lack of. And so the reality is that sometimes we're going to face discrimination. That's just the reality. But it's up to us to share with them that doesn't define you.
Yeah.
Right? So that's really all I would say there.
And I think it goes back to your point earlier and how you said you have such an awesome support system. So if you are a child or an adult who has been faced with these challenges, seek out people who can support you, and because you never know, that person can know an avenue, because discrimination isn't right, and so they should be able to stand in the gap, perhaps, or seek out opportunities, because when you create your own, I always say expose the devil and create your own path, so definitely, and like LaWanda said, the politics.
Politics is real.
Right. So we just have to be mindful of what reality shows us every day. Definitely keep your questions coming, questions and comments for sure. Absolutely. And so when Deborah asked earlier about your plans after basketball, but I feel like you've already, because you were a mentor too, and how you encouraged the younger girls, and played with them and coached and assisted. So you're constantly pouring out while you're still on your journey,
Yes. I'm thinking of a story. I don't know. Should I? Okay. So this is when I realized
now we got clean. Okay, good.
This is when I realized what I wanted to do with youth, and that I wanted to be impactful in their life. So I was in junior college, like I told you. And I was coming back from practice one day. I lived in an apartment, and so I was walking from my car to my apartment door. There was a little kid. He was like 8 or 9 years old, but he had like basketball stuff on. He had on all the, the jersey, the Jordans, that kind of stuff. And he had did he have a basketball? I don't know. Either way, I said, "Hey, little man, do you play basketball?" And he was like, "Yeah, but my mom can't afford to put me on team." And that was the moment I was like, "Oh my!" Like that was real to me. And I didn't even know that I felt that way about kids. No, I'm serious. I didn't know, but I was like, that's the moment I realized that I had a duty to the lives of kids, and I had to help them get to. I was privileged to be able to have the path. I was able to be in teams and all this kind of stuff. My parents were able to do it, and because I wanted to do it. And so to see a child want to do something and not be able to do it, it impacted me. So that was that moment.
For sure. Okay. That definitely pulls on your heartstring, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So we have a question from Ms. Kwanda. Who do you pattern your game after? That's an interesting question.
Who do I pattern my? Right now, I don't know if I pattern my game after a particular person, but I do pull from different people that I like. So growing up, I actually played in I'm a guard now. I played a post position. For those of you who don't know, that's like the taller people in the back on the little block. I was like looking at Lisa Leslie as a child, and so I was working on my post moves and everything. But growing up now, I'm a guard, so that's ball handling and shooting. And so I don't know if I pattern my game after a certain person, but I'm a shooter, so I look at shooters and I like shooters.
When she says shooter, she means shooting the basketball. So also, just to piggyback off of Kwanda's question, and it could be not so much a person too, but like what themes do you pattern your games off of? Like when you get on the floor, is it like, okay, is your mindset like aggressive, or let me play smart, or?
Okay.
Lord, get me through this game. Like,
Okay. Being overseas for the first time, or playing professionally for the first time, it was like an opportunity for me to analyze my game and see where I needed to improve. And one of the things I needed to do more is be more aggressive. And so, like, towards the end of the season, playoff time, that's what I was really focusing on. But you still have to be smart, and you still have to assess the game and take your time and be patient. So it's a balance between being patient and being aggressive. So you got to just find it.
do you think that, because you really are like a sweet person, does that have anything to do with your level of aggressiveness in the past? Does that spill out? Because if you're a nice, tender person, would someone be typically less aggressive on the court?
No, not a basketball player. You shouldn't be. Sometimes it happens though. That does happen sometimes. But once you're in the zone, you just like you got elbowing people, knocking teeth out. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just playing. But no,
roll the tape. No, I'm just kidding. Awesome. Okay. I'm trying to like not hold you, but I want to hold you as in time. But I hold her physically as well. Is there anything that you would like that we haven't covered that you'd like to share? Just across the board.
We talked about a lot of stuff. I'm not sure. I'm probably gonna think of something on the way home. Like, man, we should talk about that. Right.
Yeah.
No.
So is it safe to say, like, if there's anyone that may be watching this or whatever, is it okay if they were to hit you up via inbox and just for some advice or some tips? Definitely. You can contact me on my Facebook or my Instagram. It's Taneka Rubin, TANEKA RUBIN. No spaces, no periods, no squiggly things. Instagram or Facebook, you can contact me. Okay. We'll put your Instagram on in the comment section. We're going to take this question from Sean. Sean is asking, what makes a good basketball player? Man, that's an awesome question. What makes a good basketball player? So I believe what makes a good basketball player is to be a good student and to be coachable. So there are people who are just naturally talented and they may not be coachable. But if you're not naturally talented and you're coachable and you're willing to learn, then you can be a great basketball player. You can do anything really, but the student. That's a word. You can be talented if you want to be talented, but if you can't take no instructions. Hey. Oh, that wasn't a good little shout. Do you have any? Oh, sorry. No, you good. Go ahead. Go ahead. Cut her off. I'm asking questions. I'm just kidding. So, do you have a YouTube channel or anything? I do have a YouTube channel. I need to get back on it. Okay. We're gonna encourage you to get back on it because we got some people that Okay, so if you're a basketball player or even an instructor, trainer, coach, and you need drills, you need to be inspired about how to shoot, learn how to do different techniques. I have a YouTube channel, Taneka Rubin, the same spelling as before. I have dribbling drills, I have shooting drills, things like that. Awesome. And you do meal preps as well, right? I don't, but I can. I was just kidding, but she added to the package. But anywho, let me stop being silly. Taneka, thank you so much for just sitting down and chatting with me. I feel like you have just a great story, brought up in the inside of you, and there's so many others can glean from you. Your story, your perseverance, and your tenacity, and all that. So, kudos to you. Hats off to you. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing. Thanks. All right. Y'all share this video now. Like, share, follow her, Taneka, TANEKA Rubin, RUBIN. Can you roll the R? Can you roll the R? Let me make sure I went through all the questions. Let me grab this real quick. Okay, we're gonna take one more question now. What is your take? This is from Miss Deborah. Oh, Deborah. I think she's an athlete as well. Okay, what is your take on the statement more than an athlete? What does that mean to you? What is your take on the statement more than an athlete? What does that mean to you? We have about 2 minutes. And go. That's a good question. So more than an athlete, man. So, like I was kind of saying, or I touched on it earlier, you play your sport, right? But that's not all you want to do. Like, that is not, your sport, whatever your sport is a vehicle to impact the world in the way you're supposed to impact the world. So
it's not really okay for you to just see yourself as I'm gonna go to practice, I'm gonna go to my game, and I'm not gonna do anything else. I'm not gonna share my story. I'm not gonna try to uplift or encourage anybody else. Your sport is a vehicle. That's what it means to me. It's to impact the world.
Wow, that's awesome. So that can be applied to anyone. Whatever your gift is, don't become a slave to the gift.
Yes.
But give out of the gift.
Service.
I love it. All right, guys, you heard it right here, featuring Miss Taneka Rubin. Thank you again.
Thanks.
Huggies. I would just fade to black, but I'm going to end the live, so.